Have you ever woken up from a nightmare, only to realize you're still in it? That's the chilling reality for Gregor Samsa, the protagonist of Franz Kafka's masterpiece, The Metamorphosis. One morning, this ordinary traveling salesman wakes up to find himself transformed into a monstrous insect. This isn't a dream he can shake off. It's his new, horrifying existence. Imagine the sheer panic. Your voice is no longer human, just a squeak. Your limbs are now countless, spindly legs you can't control. The door to your room, once a simple entryway, is now a barrier you struggle to navigate. This is Gregor's world now. A prison within his own home, within his own body. Kafka doesn't waste time with explanations. There's no radioactive spider, no magical curse. The transformation just asterisk is asterisk, and that's what makes it so terrifying. It's the abrupt, senseless nature of the absurd, crashing into the mundane. Before this bizarre event, Gregor was the family's pillar. He worked a soul-crushing job he despised, all to support his parents and his beloved sister, Greet. His life was a cycle of train schedules and sales pitches. All for them, he dreamed of the day he could pay off his parents' debt and finally quit. His identity was the provider. But what happens when the provider can no longer provide? What happens when the person you were is erased overnight? Initially, his family's reaction is a mix of shock and confusion. They can't understand the garbled sounds coming from behind his door. When they finally see him, their horror is palpable. His father, once frail, becomes aggressive, shooing him back into his room with a cane and a newspaper. His mother faints at the sight of him. It's a brutal, heartbreaking rejection. The man who sacrificed everything for them is now treated like a pest, an embarrassment to be hidden away. Only his sister, Greet, shows a flicker of compassion at first. She's the one who brings him food, trying to figure out what he might still enjoy. She cleans his room, bravely enduring the sight of her monstrous brother. For a brief moment, there's a sliver of hope. Perhaps a connection can survive this grotesque change. Gregor clings to this hope. He listens through the wall, piecing together his family's new life without him. He learns they have to find work, sell their valuables, and take on boarders. He feels a deep shame and sorrow, not for his own condition, but for the burden he has become. But time erodes even Greet's kindness. The novelty of her duty wears off, replaced by resentment. The care she once provided becomes a chore. She stops cleaning his room, which becomes a filthy, neglected space. The food is practically thrown inside. She no longer sees her brother, only it, a disgusting creature that has ruined their lives. This emotional metamorphosis of his family is arguably more tragic than Gregor's physical one. They are transforming to shedding their dependence, and with it, their love for him. One of the most poignant moments is when Gregor hears Greet playing the violin for the family's new boarders. The music touches something deep within him, a remnant of his former human soul. He is so moved that he slowly, clumsily, crawls out of his room, drawn to the beauty, perhaps hoping to communicate his appreciation, to show them that the man he was is still inside. He dreams of telling his sister how much he had wanted to send her to the conservatory, a plan he had kept secret, but his appearance shatters the moment. The boarders are horrified and threaten to leave without paying. This is the final straw for Greet. In a fit of fury and exhaustion, she declares they must get rid of it. She argues that the creature is no longer Gregor. If this were Gregor, she says, he would have realized long ago that it is impossible for human beings to live with such a creature, and he would have gone away on his own. It's a devastating blow. The one person he thought understood him, the one he loved most, sentences him to oblivion. Hearing this, Gregor understands. He accepts his fate. He feels a strange sense of peace and relief. Not for himself, but for his family. He knows his presence is causing them nothing but pain. With his last bit of strength, he drags his useless body back to his room. As the sun rises, he takes his final, shallow breath. His life, which began its end with a bizarre awakening, concludes in quiet, lonely darkness. The next morning, the cleaning lady discovers his flat, dried-out body and disposes of it without a second thought. The family's reaction is not grief, but relief. A great weight has been lifted. They take the day off, travel to the countryside, and begin to dream of a brighter future. They talk about moving to a smaller apartment and about Greek getting married. Gregor is already a forgotten nightmare. His sacrifice, his entire life's work, is erased. So what does it all mean? The Metamorphosis is a powerful exploration of alienation, identity, and the conditional nature of love. It forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. What makes us human? Is it our appearance, our ability to communicate, our usefulness to others? When Gregor could no longer work, when he became a burden, he lost his value in his family's eyes, and thus his humanity. Kafka suggests that our modern lives can be so dehumanizing, so focused on function and utility, that we risk becoming insects in our own homes, alienated from those we love. It's a story that stays with you, a haunting reminder to look beyond the surface, to value people for who they are, not just what they do for us. It's a chilling tale about how quickly the familiar can become monstrous, and how easily love can curdle into revulsion. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into Kafka's unsettling world. If you found this analysis thought-provoking, please hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys into the heart of great literature. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Metamorphosis in the comments below. See you in the next video.